Give children less sugar and more veg in baby food, says BBC News. It says that the amount of sugar in baby food should be restricted and parents should give their young children more vegetables to stop them developing a sweet tooth. A report from child health experts says. It warns that even baby food marked as no added sugar often contains sugars from honey or fruit juice. Parents should offer bitter flavours too, the Royal College of Paediatrics and Child Health recommends. This will guard against tooth decay, poor diet and obesity. Well, this makes a lot of sense to me, really, because the food you like is largely to do with what you're used to. So if children grow up having been used to eating sweet food, they're going to want to continue eating sweet food throughout their adult life as well, which could cause obesity, tooth decay and all kinds of problems like that. And it goes on to say, babies had a preference for sweet taste, but parents should not reinforce that. Babies are very willing to try different flavours if they're given the chance. And it's important that they're introduced to a variety of flavours, including more bitter tasting foods such as broccoli and spinach from a young age. And parents should be educated on the impact of sugar. Excess sugar is one of the leading causes of tooth decay, which is the most common oral disease in children, affecting nearly a quarter of 5-year-olds. The NHS website has an article called How Does Sugar in Our Diet Affect Our Health? It lists the maximum amount of sugar you should have per day according to your age. So adults should have no more than 30 grams per day, children aged 7 to 10 should have no more than 24 grams per day, and children aged 4 to 6 should have no more than 19 grams per day. There's not actually an upper limit set for babies, or children under 4, which is strange, but I would assume that they should have even less sugar than children aged 4 to 6. But let's go with the 19 grams for the moment, and look at the sugar content of some baby food. On the Tesco website, I found this Tesco vegetable rice baby food. A quick look at the nutritional information shows that the amount of sugar in one meal is 9.2 grams, which is nearly half the limit for the whole day. Of course, the amount of sugar in different meals is different, and this one, tomato and courgette spaghetti mini meal, is a bit lower, containing 7 grams of sugar per meal. Then there's the cottage pie, which has only 3.6 grams of sugar per meal. So it just goes to show it does vary from meal to meal, but the problem is, are parents going to check every single label? Some will, but maybe some won't, and that's the problem. However, in the interests of being totally honest here, I must tell you that I've just realised that I've made a bit of a mistake here, because taking a look at the NHS article again, it actually says the government recommends that free sugars added to food or drinks, and sugars found naturally in honey, syrups and unsweetened fruit and vegetable juices, smoothies and purees, should not make up more than 5% of the energy calories you get from food and drink each day. So these limits they're talking about here, like 19 grams per day, is actually these kind of added sugars rather than sugars that are naturally occurring in foods. Because if we look again at the Tesco vegetable rice baby food, there is actually no added sugar in the ingredients, except for this tomato puree which makes up 7%. And if we look at the NHS article again, it does mention purees as being what it considers free sugars. But you see, this is where it just gets confusing, because what do you consider sugar? Because many foods have a bit of sugar in them, even if they're not high sugar foods. So do you consider the sugar in those foods? So where do you draw the line?
Where do you draw the line?
But they're saying that purees are then a concentrated form of sugar. But maybe the overall principle to take away from this is that parents should be increasing the amount of vegetables that they're feeding to their babies and children and reducing the sweetness of the foods that they feed to them. So if you're about to feed some food to your baby or child, taste it, and if it tastes overly sweet, then maybe it does have too much sugar in it. And also just the sweet flavour might be getting the children too used to having sweet things. So that's probably the overall message here, is more vegetables, less sweet things. But what do you think? Why not let me know in the comments below? Anyway, I hope you found this helpful or interesting. If so, why not give it a like, and maybe subscribe too? Anyway, until next time, I wish you the very best of health.